This is an everyday scene that can turn into a nightmare in an instant. A quiet street in São Paulo. A couple arriving to visit family, unaware that they were being watched. This is the story of a quick-thinking police officer, a big scare, and the constant dangers that lurk in the city's shadows. It was a common Saturday. A man was slowly parking the car, exactly at this spot. He was arriving to visit his mother, who lives in a housing complex nearby. Beside him, the passenger was preparing to get out. It was a moment of peace, a moment of transition, the most vulnerable instant for any driver. From across the street emerged two figures. They were watching the vehicle, the driver and the woman. They realized the car was parking and knew that was the moment. They were two bandits. One of them was a minor, an adolescent. In the blink of an eye, the two criminals crossed the street running. They approached quickly, already with weapons drawn. The victims were caught by surprise, trapped inside the vehicle, with no time to react. But fate, on this Saturday, was not on the side of the criminals. At that exact moment, while the bandits were running toward their targets, a black car approached. They had bad luck. Inside that black car was a military police officer who was in plain clothes. He was off duty, but he saw the chaotic scene unfolding. Two men, armed, advancing toward a civilian vehicle. He did not hesitate. The police officer stopped his car abruptly. He got out and drew his weapon in a quick movement. Now, he was positioned between the bandits and the victims. He gave the voice of arrest to the bandits. It was a clear order for them to stop and surrender. One of the bandits, the minor, was armed. The weapon was a simulacrum, a toy gun. But, in that moment of high tension, the police officer could not have known that. The adolescent made a serious mistake. He pointed it at the officer. The police officer was forced to make a decision in a fraction of a second to defend himself and the citizens. The officer then fires. Several shots were fired here at the location, echoing through the residential area. It was total chaos. One of the shots ended up hitting the light box, exactly there on the power box, leaving a clear mark of the violent confrontation. The young bandit, a 16-year-old adolescent, was injured. But, driven by adrenaline and panic, he did not fall. Even injured, he managed to run for a few blocks here in the region. The pursuit was underway. The injured adolescent desperately fled through the streets, looking for a place to hide. He tried to hide in a hairdresser's that is nearby, but it was too late. He was arrested. The minor was taken to a hospital right here in the south zone of São Paulo. He remains hospitalized, under police custody, recovering from the injuries. The second bandit, the accomplice, was luckier. In the confusion of the shooting, he managed to escape. He fled and disappeared in the surrounding streets. The accomplice remains at large. These two criminals had a bad outcome. They crossed paths with an off-duty military police officer who reacted, preventing a serious crime. The neighborhood is scared. The residents are very scared because robberies on this street are constant. Just 1 week ago, 2 robberies were carried out in less than 2 hours, on the same day. Motorcyclists arrive and rob the residents here in the region. This most recent incident highlights the constant battle against crime in the city. The action of the off-duty police officers saved the couple from being robbed. One adolescent is shot and hospitalized. His accomplice remains at large. But, for now, thanks to the bravery of one man, a robbery was prevented and the victims are safe.